Yo, what's up? Nobody can touch me. I'm the Wonder Boy, the chosen one, the Moto Messiah.
Is the Wonder Boy Jett really the best? Not so fast. Hey everybody, Walty Wanderers, buckle up, strap in. We got a hard-hitting, pull no punches, no sugarcoating it, no rainbows, no sunshine. Just gonna give it to you and give it to you straight. We got a good one to unpackage today. Welcome to the show. Hope everybody's doing great. So Jett Lawrence has clearly emerged as the industry darling, the chosen one, the Moto Messiah, the Wonder Boy from down under. The reality is this, he's earned it. Nobody's saying he isn't the most talented guy out there on the track, but here's the thing, and most of the viewers here at this channel, and if you're new, please subscribe right away. Never been a more important time in moto history to get centered and surrounded with like-minded moto people, forward-thinking, critical thinking. We have infiltrated the sport and taken it from what was once cool extreme sports to watered-down mainstream sports. Now, listen, if you like electric bikes and that's the direction you want to go, then by all means, you do your thing. But the reality is this. I remember this sport is back in the day. In fact, the other day I was looking for something to watch, and I remember it being probably one of the lamest movies. Like at the time when it came out, I was way too cool, way too hard to check out the movie Supercross. But that thing was so bad it was good. I watched it the other night, had One Punch Evans in it, and it was just kind of this cool story, right? Even the track that Team Nano or whatever it was called practice at, that's Piru right here in Southern California near Fillmore and Santa Paula. I used to ride that track all the time. They had it as their private test track for that movie. And even Charlie's Angels Full Throttle. A bunch of cool moto in that thing, and in that movie as well. Pink, bunch of heavy hitters in that. A bunch of moto dudes appeared in that one. McGrath. The reality is this. I mean, back in the day, it was really hard hitting. Now, I know a lot of these new riders, the Lawrence brothers included, of course, don't want to hear about how it was back in the day. But back in the day, this was a rebellious sport, right? You have to be a little crazy to ride a moto. You're you're risking life and limb out there all the time, right? I mean, we hear the stories. There's no way to water that down. There's no way to sugarcoat that. The reality is this. We asked it on the Walty Wanderers community page of the YouTube channel. Who's the best rider right now, even up until this point in modern era? Jett. Clearly, I think Jett probably smokes Ricky, maybe even Bubba, possibly McGrath, if we were to put them head to head in their heydays. I'm not so sure. See, what Jett doesn't have, though, is that kind of wow factor, right? He makes it look so easy, which is, in fact, his strength. He's like a ballerina, an alien on the bike, the way he dances around the track. Super efficient, right? Especially in the outdoors when you got to negotiate all that chop. The dude's super efficient. You cannot minimize that. But I still, I don't know. The jury's out in terms of, well, it's not out. It's in. The jury's in. I'm sorry. I stand to be corrected. The jury's in. We asked, is it Jett the best rider? Is it Bubba? Is it Ricky? Is it Jeremy? I mean, those are the guys that I think about because they really not only were champions, they did it in a way that kind of stapled themselves as champions. These guys are a Hall of Famers. We've had some other Villies and Dunges that were great champions, but I mean, McGrath with the knack. I mean, in the way that he was just so stylish when he came out. I mean, nobody will ever duplicate that. Sure, you might break some of his records, maybe, but you're not duplicating the cool factor. And even McGrath back then took a bunch of heat as a sellout. I mean, that's just the reality. That's the waters these guys swim in. But the reality is, we can't feel that bad for them. They're making a bank. But we asked it, is it Jett? Is it Bubba? Is it Ricky? Is it McGrath? Who is, in fact, the best rider that you can think of right now? Let's go ahead and jump over to some polling. Then we'll meet back here and wrap it up. Let's get started. Race fans, buckle up, strap in, roll up your windows, lock your doors, maybe even throw on a fresh pair of tear-offs if you can find some, because the roost is about to fly. When asked on the Walty Wanderers community page of the YouTube channel, sickest rider ever, Bubba, McGrath, Ricky, or the Wonder Boy? 62% go with Bubba. Bubba smokes the field. The Wonder Boy, as good as he is, hasn't been able to touch Bubba quite yet, according to you guys, and I have to agree. Let's jump back to the studio and wrap this one up. All right, welcome back, and there you go. Jett, bro, Bubba has you covered. Bubba, you see, the reason I love Bubba's story, because I was working in the industry.
This is how we did it back in the day. Check out my old school computer to prove it.
He emerged on the scene. I remember when Ricky dethroned Jeremy. It was an ugly spectacle. I remember being at the U.S. Open of motocross at the MGM Grand in Vegas, where moto belongs, for the U.S. Open. That was before we had the Monster Million. We had the U.S. Open, the richest race in motocross. I remember when they lowered Ricky down in that King's outfit, and it did not go over well. It took him quite a while to recover from that one. He had to win a lot of races before he recovered from that one. But the reality is this. When Bubba emerged, he was a man of a kid. Color. And that we had never seen anybody, much less making mains, much less just dominating. So while I appreciate Jett's, rag to riches story, Bubba even had a bigger obstacle to tackle, a couple obstacles, the racial obstacle and the bike obstacle. And he accomplished them both. His riding definitely spoke for itself, but we had never seen aggression contained in that way. And it wasn't always contained. And that's what made it so fun to watch with Bubba, because you never knew if it was going to be checkers or wreckers 9 times out of 10. Now, 9 times out of 10, that dude stayed on the bike, but there was always that one spectacular crash. And we're seeing Jetson, as efficient as he is, he's not immune. This is motocross. You will have crashes. Appreciate and embrace generational talent and what Jetson's doing, and nobody's cheering against him necessarily. Well, maybe some people are. You've got to go through your hazing period. Speaking of that, Danger Boy had to go through his hazing when he came in. We gave him a good one. A bunch of the industry did. He's answered back. This is the true test. Now, we've seen a lot of riders, the Austin Stroops, the Nico Izzies. A lot of these guys come up with the hype and it just fizzles out. Even the J-Laws, never quite really to take it to where people were hoping or even paying them to possibly take it. So this is a really tricky one. Now, Jetson, here's the thing. I think he goes on, continues to be the guy to beat for years to come, short of injury. And, of course, none of us want to see anybody get injured. And even when we're watching these races now, we don't want to, when he's crashed and it looks like he's injured, we didn't like that. Do we like seeing him go down? Sure, but not get injured. We want to see him go down because we know it's going to level the playing field and we're going to have to see him work a little bit. The reality is this. He needs something, in my opinion, Jetson, if you're listening, brother. You don't need it, but it certainly wouldn't hurt you. Winning all those races moving forward is definitely going to solidify you in this sport, and you will be in the history books and the Hall of Fame and anything else. But to have, I don't know, there's just something that you kind of got to have. Ricky had a double can, I think he used to throw. McGrath, of course, the knack, spectacular. And Bubba with the Bubba scrub. Jetson, you have like the ballerina twirl, basically. Actually, I think Danger Boy owns the ballerina twirl from his get-off that he did the helicopter. That was the helicopter. Jetson has more of the ballerina efficiency. He's almost this mad scientist Frankenstein rider where he's got this mix of all the best riders right into one. So fluid, so efficient. The dude's just super freaky good. His body's just built for the bike, but he just doesn't quite have that wow factor. And I don't necessarily think he needs it. Like, he's cashing in regardless. He's already cashed in. He could quit tomorrow. He is definitely set for life. A lot of these guys didn't get the set for life money this early like Jetson did, but clearly they're throwing tons of money at him now. In final thoughts, I come to you as a friend, as a content creator, as a moto guy, wants to see you not only win on the track, off the track. Understand the waters you're swimming in now. Shark infested. Jetson, welcome back to the swimming pool. Unfortunately, Bubba's already in there swimming laps. I have time to try to take that honor from him, but I'm not sure it's going to happen. And that's why Walty will be here to blow the lid off it every step of the way. Because it's not only what we need, it's in fact what we deserve. If you appreciate the content, I want to humbly ask you to give the video a like, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. Social media link in the description of this video if you'd like to follow me there, along with links to channels I've appeared on I think you might enjoy. If you enjoyed this video, you're going to love the next video, and there's an easy subscribe icon for your convenience. As always, thank you for your time. Don't go over the bars. God bless, and I'll see you on the next video.